In the area where I live, there are some people who want to stop educating girls through guns.
In Swat, Pakistan, schools for girls are under assault by the Taliban.
I want to get my education and I want to become a doctor.
It's okay. Okay, easy, relax.
This is the Swat Valley, once a peaceful region that wooed tourists from all over Pakistan. Swat is part of mainland Pakistan, only 100 miles from the capital Islamabad. Since 2007, Swat has become Taliban territory. Those who defy the militant strict codes of Islam are publicly punished. And they are the lucky ones. Politicians and social activists are murdered, their corpses displayed in the center of the capital, Mingora. It is early January here. While boys' schools remain open, more than 200 schools for girls have been blown up by the Taliban.
Respectable principal.
At one of the remaining schools, a student who is veiled to protect her identity speaks out.
The title of my speech is The Situation in Swat, Swat Valley. The paradise on earth is in the northwest of Pakistan. Swat Valley, the land of waterfalls, lush green hills and other gifts bestowed upon it by the nature. But my dear friends, today, Swat has in the past few years become a heartland for Pakistan's Islamic militancy. Today, this idyllic valley of peace is burning. Why the peace of this valley is destroyed? Why we the peace and innocent people of the valley are targeted? Why our future is targeted? Schools are not places of learning, but places of fear and violence. We will solve our problems. We will return our valley to peace. I think nobody, no one, our dreams are shattered, and let me say we are destroyed.
About a quarter of the residents have left Swat, leaving behind a ghost town. VIP tourists once lobbied for reservations at this elite hotel and restaurant. Now it is empty. China Market once bustled with female shoppers. Now they are banned by the Taliban. And vendors are afraid to speak out. In Swat, only one business still thrives. Citizens are voracious for news. But news here can be devastating. Come nighttime, the Taliban issue threats on FM radio. It is January 14th, the night before the ban. Tomorrow, 50,000 schoolgirls will lose their education. Tensions are especially high in this house. We spent 48 hours documenting this family's crisis.
Tomorrow is the deadline, and 15 January. We won't be able to take any risk.
Zahuddin Yousafzai owns a private school for girls. It has supported his family for 14 years. Tomorrow he will be forced to close its doors. His 11-year-old daughter, Malala, faces the end of her education.
When I saw her for the first time, a very newborn child, and I looked into her eyes, I fell in love with her, believe me. I love her. I love her.
The family doesn't know what they will do come tomorrow, but one thing has been decided. They won't leave Swat.
I may get brain hemorrhage because of that pressure. That's why I left my people in hard days. I should have been beside them. I must bring them out from that quagmire. This is my duty. And if I die for it, I think there will be no better chance for me to die better than this.
On the last school night, Zahuddin hopes the Taliban will change their mind against closing the girls' schools.
It's not catching today.
Tonight, the Pakistani military has blocked the Taliban's transmission. But on the ground, there is little doubt who is in control. There are 12,000 Pakistani troops in Swat. They are ever present in the capital Mingora, where they are targeting Taliban cells like this one. But since last summer, they have been unable to quell the 3,000 Taliban fighters and their guerrilla insurgency. Zahuddin has taken in his extended family. They are afraid to live in the countryside. The military offered to guard Zahuddin's school, but with hundreds of schools already destroyed, he cannot take the risk. Like many in Swat, he feels trapped, unable to trust either side.
If on one hand security forces want to open the schools on gunpoint, and on the other hand the militant Taliban, they are going to close it on the gunpoint. So education is something it can't afford such a tight security situation.
Inside their home, the family lives under siege. Zahuddin is on the Taliban's radar, so some nights he sleeps elsewhere to avoid drawing attention to his family.
See?
And Malala often doesn't sleep at all.
Have sound sleep, huh? Right?
Good night.
Good night.
Sometimes I think that I will hide in the bathroom and I will call to police and they will come and they will save my father. And sometimes I think that I will tell my father that you hide in the cupboard and they will not check the cupboard. And I have many thoughts.
Okay, like that. And when I'm not at night at your home, then what happens?
We are feeling that we are in a war zone. We hear a big blast and we just sit in our beds and then we sleep again. And so this hide and seek goes on all the night. And that's our life. That's our life.
I'm very fearing today is my last day of school.
Fear seeps into every aspect of life, even getting dressed for school.
We are not using this uniform now and we go to school in plain clothes and I like my uniform but I'm not able to use this uniform.
In the morning, Zahuddin's anxiety is rising. At times, he asks us to conceal our camera. He is worried about who might be watching.
We have some limitations.
Zahuddin is known around town as a social activist, and although he has not received direct threats, other activists have been murdered. To avoid suspicion, Malala goes to school alone.
Malala, okay?
Bye. Bye. In the world, the girls are going to their schools freely and there is no fear. But in Swat, when we go to our school, we are very afraid of Taliban. He will kill us, he will throw acid on our face and he can do anything.
In some respects, Malala and her classmates have already lost their school. 70% of the students stayed at home.
Sum of numbers में हमने 280 plus
One of our students, she came late to school. And when I asked her, why are you late, daughter? She told me that her parents and her brothers were not allowing her to go to school because they don't want to take risk. So she told me that when her brother and her father went out of the home, she stealthily came to school.
Sum of items divide by.
Tomorrow, 13 teachers will lose their job. One called Zahuddin to say he cannot make it.
So he told me that while passing through the square on my way to school, I saw some beheaded corpse. So now I am unable to teach to my student.
As the school day winds down, Zahuddin faces the end of his career. 2/3 of the parents have not paid last month's tuition.
This very thought is very much killing, you see. Your efforts of 14 years, when they come to zero. And we started from a scratch.
Swat Valley! Swat Valley! Swat
At a special assembly, the students rally for their education.
Swat Valley!
Even in the confines of his office, Zahuddin cannot escape the tension.
You see in the background the noise of the gunships and helicopters. So it's apparent that it affects ourselves, especially the small kids.
Most of these girls say their families will soon leave Swat. But Zahuddin has a different take. He has vowed to spend a year fighting for his cause.
It may be my idealism, or you may call me a crazy person. But when I'm asked by my friends that why are you not leaving Swat? So I usually tell them that Swat has given me a lot. Now when there are hard days on Swat, and Swat is in trouble. So as a good friend, I should not leave Swat.
But staying in Swat could destroy Malala's dream.
I want to become a doctor. It's my own dream, but my father told me that you have to become a politician. But I don't like politics and...
But I see a great potential in my daughter that she can do more than a doctor. She can create a society where a medical student would be easily able to get her doctorate degree.
Bye, class!
Back at her home, Malala's social life is now confined to a courtyard. Her bedroom is a classroom, but she remains hopeful.
They cannot stop me. I will get my education if it is in home, school or any place. This is our request to the all world that save our school, save our world, save our Pakistan, save our Swat.